Today is weekend. I hope you guys are doing well. So today I'm going to update you on the cars I inspected the past few days. Definitely we are also going to talk about something that is very important that plenty of young people are actually ignoring, and I think they should not be ignoring it. Yeah. So many people are ignoring this important thing, and I think Baba Athamugwagwa. And along the way, people make mistakes. It's just that they don't talk about it. Nainga, they make the mistakes. Good evening, Charles. Obadobuze, Tofa, how are you? Nkugwa Charles and Charles Mulibaitidivu. Nerinya Charles Livawa. Baba tumamanya because of the King of England. Oba waliyo mutukirivu baita Charles. That's something I would love to learn. Irinya Charles Livawa banange. Lwaki balituuma nnyo. Hi Stuart, how are you? Irinya Charles lwaki balituuma nnyo. You guys are doing well? You're doing well? Let me do this. So I have another use of the car that I recently discovered. Nazude, another use of a car today. So last week I was moving around, and let me see, and I think I lost my national ID. Okay, I lost my national ID. And kuba national ID, I lost it. I went back to town to all the places where I had been. I looked for my national ID neighbor. So today, I was washing my car. I removed the carpets to wash them, and I found my national ID. If I had been a border guy, a person taking borders, my national ID would be lost by now. I'm trying to eliminate that sound. There's a funny sound that is. Okay. I don't think I'm getting it. I think I'll try to play this. Or isn't it playing? Okay, it's coming. Right. Good evening, Mavo Gadgets. Charles means joy. Oh. Yeah. So I found my national ID, and just like that. So today we're going to talk about the cars I almost. Okay, I did. Inaka instrumento wankana. Sikeeko. Olujja kunkwasa olwo. Inaka instrumento kange tebakakwata nako. Simanyi lwaki. No, I think this is it. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'm eliminating the woofer sound from behind. I'm also, I have a phone that I'm doing live. I'm trying to find out some of the things that I can help you out with. It's actually very simple to like the broadcast. You remember the times that we struggle. For you to like the broadcast, I'm sure you can see when you're watching the broadcast, you click these 3 dots up here, and it will bring, so you can actually like the broadcast like that. And you can choose if you don't want the live chat, but it's better to do that. Then the live chat will come. And then you can also include the chat like that. So I'm using my wife's phone, so I cannot do that. But for the guys that have been struggling sometimes to like the broadcast, you click the 3 dots in the that's the right hand corner, and then you can like. You can actually also share the broadcast like that by clicking this. So we're clicking at these 3 dots, it leads you to the options. While all this, yeah, and yeah, you can actually even filter either to see top or to see all messages, and it's just better to see all messages, and just like that. So hi Salmin, hi Gaetano. So last week we bought a Raum. I think that's the car we successfully bought. The lady had options of Raums, and she had talked to a number of brokers. The guys that are on YouTube and TikTok selling cars, almost everyone that comes to me and they have their cars of options, their options of cars, they are literally going to the same people. And this wasn't an exception. It was a lady trying to buy a car, and I thank the gentleman that recommended me. I'm yet to actually inbox her to tell me who recommended her, but it's a gentleman from this channel that recommended her. Ladies are very easy to manipulate, so abachara babatomeza nnyo. I think she's lucky she phoned me. She would have bought a very bad car. I think normally what happens, ladies are very trusting. So she had called up all these brokers, and along the way, and this today, Rahim, Chimuli, Owechika, Ochimanyi Tuliba Chikache, Chimuchimuli. So, and towards the end, a gentleman friend of hers that knows my channel told her, you call this guy, he will help you. And then she calls me, but we that she already had options of cars that we had to look at. They were at bonds that I'm not going to mention. And I'm open. I'm very open, by the way. I am sometimes I'm very positive. So I told her I'm positive that maybe we will get to see, then we'll get some nice cars out of the cars that you have. So we went, she called up her brokers. I think we met at around 9. And we went to the first person she called, and I told her, you know what brokers do? Brokers know that we know their points. They know that you also know their points. So if a broker is located, let's say, I don't want to use their exact locations. Let's say brokers have a bond at like City Oil Kamocha, okay, and they know, everyone knows City Oil Kamocha is a broker's point, or it's a bond, and they know people don't like going to bonds now to buy cars, especially the used car bonds, okay. So they don't tell you come to City Oil Kamocha. Now they'll tell you come to Uganda Museum. So you go to Uganda Museum, and when you get to Uganda Museum, then the guy says, let me send someone to come for you. By the time they send someone to come for you, you've already fallen into the trap. You're going to see their car whether you like it or not. So the same thing happened to this lady. So they want, and I told her about this car. See ya muntu ngabo yagambi nti ya muntu eri ku office oba wa, it's in a bond. So we reached the point they told us, and exactly this thing happened. The guy was saying kamperezo omuntu akolechi akunone, and I told the guy, bana itotulimba, just tell us where you are or where the cars are, fe tujja kutuukawo, no problem. Bwe moroka bwe banungi tujja kolachi, tujja jigula. So we go, and indeed it was a bond, and of course he hadn't told her which cars, and because I think he hadn't been sure which cars would be there. So we went, we saw the first car, nge yakirira bwakirizi teterera. And I'm thinking ekirwadde kiruma emmoroka eyo ngenda kizuula nze ngenda kukizuula. So anyway, we went to that first room nga teyaka bulungi, and I think this person naye yasuubula nsuubule. Omanyi n'abasuubuzi nabo babatomeza. Musajja watwala leka bagivuga ndoza nga yamaze okubuguma ne bagireeta. Omanyi emmoroka bw'emala okubuguma ketambula bulungi ne bweba n'ekirwadde ne bagimuguza ndoza naye na parking. And those guys are bonde ebiseera ebisinga parking. That's why if you're going to buy a car, and it's in that you need pre-purchase inspection nyo ngabo chiwulira. So eyonge yakirira tugamba omusajja omanyi twage ku moroka endala, and this was, I think this was a UAY nga bagala million 16 Raum, for the guys that know the Raum new model that has a 1NZ engine. So no problem, we go and see another one, UAX. That one was a little better, yakabulungi ninga ate baji ya nnyo manyi abasuubuzi bo basubira ekibakolera ate kati normally when someone goes to those bonds nga toyina guidance kyosangayo kyebakubira kakalimi kyokola ki kyogula gwe kasaba gambe eno yenungi ene ekola bwete nekola bwete. That's normally what you buy. And so this wasn't good. We tell the guy, take us to another car. The lady wanted Raumo Spazio, but the Spazios were all out of our league. Normally I tell you guys, Spazio and Rauma literally almost the same car, especially when they have the 1NZ engine. But the Spazio is much more expensive, much more prestigious, much more desirable by people. So nibatulaga ku Spazio ninga Spazio batuga zone zili million 2 million until eventually I told this broker yatulaga imodoka ya million 2.5 nga tulina budget ya million 16 kana ina mumale abantu amagezi omuntu azakugamba have a budget of 16 million. Why are you showing this person a car of 25 million? Okay, that's the other thing where brokers go wrong. Someone says I want a car of 16 million and you're showing them a car of 25 million without even warning them. So normally what the brokers will do is bajja kuleka okebere modoka okebere ekukube bamaleba gawe na ene suka mu cassette, and I'm sure they are successful with that trick. Nti bwe mara okukuba ne bagamba na eno rozo nofune modoka ennungi mu sente zo kyoba okolezo zisasule ko wano no yongira ya kasente ngo ofunye, and that's their trick and it works for them, otherwise they would not be using it on people. Okujja konza abantu banga abantu alobakebera kata ka trick tekakyakola bwe omuntu bwagenda nange guy namugamba no, but you can't do that. A person has already told you what her budget is. I want a car of 10 million. Why are you showing me a car of 20? Again, and just like that, Netuva Mobondi, and then we called. Someone had sent me a Raum, and then Guba Mukisa. So someone had sent me a Raum, and it was a UBF. Did I take pictures of that car? I think I took. Did I post it here? I think I posted it here, right? So someone had shared the Raum. It's a newer model than the ones we were seeing, by the way. It's a UBF. I'm not even sure. And I told this lady, you know what? Emoroke is studying in Uganda one. They are normally much better and they are better offers. So let's just go look at this car. If you don't like it, we move on. Already in these bonds that we had gone to, we had seen in our budget all the cars were bad. Totally clear. Tires, engine not very healthy, interior is trashed. Not good number plate. Omanyi, there are times that I recommend that someone actually buys a car with a number plate. Why? It's so car. What otukanga number plate again okuyambako kuma value emotoka. What omotoka zita kuma value kati Raumwezo tezikuma value. Because people already don't like them even as new. Kati kuma value. Kati this woboka inanga kalimu number. It's even better. So we went and checked out this car. It was a UBF, new tires. Literally the only thing to work on was the brakes. Kuba yayite siba bulungi. Nze motoka ezitasiba sizivugira makanika wange yagivuga. Sivuga motoka etasiba. So we check it out and everything literally checks out. Buli kimunga kirungi okujjako nyiniyo yali mu chafu. Wakitegera nyiniyo yali mu chafu nga tayo za motoka. So there were two things to be done: washing the interior and brakes. Of course, twasanga nyini yali, we found the owner in the garage nga ali mukutereza ka bumper yali ndoza yakulubulo wa border. AC was working very cold, and so my mechanic talked to the lady and they negotiated how much he would work on those things. And I told this lady, normally when I find a car that is good and I know we may not find it again, I warn you and I tell you. So I told this lady, I know this car is not very clean on the inside, but it needs washing. Even the AC, the cabin air filter was filthy, dirty. A very clear indicator that the owner of this car was really not a very clean person. So I told this lady, wash this car. The good thing is you have new tires. There is literally nothing more to work on apart from the normal brakes. Those are normally literally all the cars that we buy will work on brakes. Brakes. So, and the UBF was a very good offer. The other, someone told me of a UBF that was 25, and this was a bargain. So we checked it out and literally had nothing. And so we bought that Raum. I think she got that car yesterday after respraying. So we left the car with my mechanic to go and change the brakes, have it washed, and finish the bumper spraying, because it doesn't matter where the car was being worked on. If we buy the car, we take it out of there. So what happened is my mechanic took the car. I think he delivered the car yesterday, and the transfer must be done by the end of this week. So that's the first purchase we made. Was a Toyota Raum. Hello, I'm glad that I'm here. I really need a detailed talk on Mercedes-Benz C200. I love it. Now, Geoffrey, I have a video on Mercedes-Benz on this very channel. Just go to the videos and look for it. I have a video on Mercedes-Benz. Of course, C200 ye Premier Benz. If you don't have a lot of money and you want to drive a Mercedes-Benz, you drive that one. You see the picture of the Benz on this broadcast. A friend of mine who is a car dealer in those new car bonds, I want someone that can buy this car from me. What happened is he sold this car to someone, so it's in the bond, and I think they want about 18 million, which I find to be on the high end, but I think they can negotiate. So for the guys that want to drive Mercedes-Benz, that's one thing for you to start with. It's a 2.4 liter, very nice Mercedes-Benz. Nzira kuve wange mcharo soda vuga naye abadde impora muweko milioni 7 nze nga Arthur ampenge nene vuge Benz naye mama ya Benz kanjira mbireka ndigivuga nga mpezeze emyaka 45 naye kati Hanifa, you're welcome. Isaac, you're welcome. Jerome, chiri kitya. Simple Carrison, chiri kitya. You guys, I hope you're lero munayengeza ku gym nganzigali ne sobola ku Nenko mona enjoze moroka yange bangeze stream katingeda strabuma bwange bwawaka. By the way, as a man you need to have some weights at home, some kind of weights. Bagamba weightlifting kind of improve your testosterone. And men, we need testosterone. Testosterone yakuze ebirevu, testosterone yaleta libido, testosterone yakuwa amanyi, testosterone yakwa confidence ngo omusajja, testosterone yakuletera okuroza ngo omusajja kwega naye obuuma obuyambako so nze situlo obuuma. Ayman Ali, how are you my brother? Mr. Lucius, how are you? Happy to be here once again. Sorry I couldn't manage to be online chat every day due to I totally understand, Mr. Lucius. It's a good thing that we are here. Very soon we are starting our podcast. I think around 15th of July we will have our first guest on the podcast. Of course, podcast will not be live. They will be uploaded, but I'm trying to see if I can have them live. Timing because we have guests and all. Yeah, but hopefully 15th July we'll start our podcast, and it's going to be a very, very nice thing. Hi Samuel Giovinco, how are you? So that's the first car we bought. It was a Toyota Raum, and then this was interesting. This was particularly interesting. I think like 2 days ago. This was Friday, so I got a call. Of course, nzana gange ngali anze sigana nganga kwata ngampako makani kafinga tukuyambako Grand kati mbuzako engine na mepira. Salmina jangu tugule Grand. Anyway, as we are talking, I'm here doing my home workout. Mavuga je tukwata mu mani. Nange urumana broadcast went. Urumana broadcast ngankwata ebyuma. Nze ngankwata mu hour yange mungene ekitundu. Yeah, anyway. Hi Joseph, how are you? Yeah, so it was an interesting, you know how I've been doing videos and telling you guys, Uber is not profitable. Uber is not the thing to do in Uganda. You should not get your hard-earned money and get money hoping to invest in Uber. And yes, of course, there are people that are doing Uber. Uber should be something you do. Kanoga kankole ku Uber ono tulabe. no struggling oba kusula kukubo no sulako no sivako no sulako, because that's what majority of the guys that are in Uber are doing. Okujjako nga you also do special hire. So I've been telling you guys, Uber is not something that you should want to invest your money in, because I did Uber personally. Najikola nganyina ka vitizi kangi kali ka UAS wa 030D UAS, it was red, it was very sexy, ka RS kali mu 2NZ lukumbisatu. So I did Uber, and I'll tell you, the first couple of months it was a bang, we made money. It was a bang. When I ingira Uber ngabana bagula ne moroka mu Uber ngavuga Uber mieze ina na agule moroka, avuga Uber mieze musavu na agule moroka. So hi Isaac. So guys made money out of Uber, but then Uber declined. First of all, by the time people were making money in Uber, it was before Uber started taking commission. Uber was not taking commission, yet it was giving bonuses. So you do 10 trips or 20 trips and Uber gives you 100,000. You get it? So you make 100,000 during the day, and then they give you bonus 100,000. So if you also drive at night, they also give you 100,000. So in a day, a guy would make 300,000. So and that's how guys made money out of Uber. Now, when Uber started taking their commission, I think it's 25%, and stopped giving bonuses, that's when all hell broke loose and people stopped making money. So when I tell you guys Uber is not a thing, Uber is not a thing. I did Uber. So I had two people that we were helping inspect vehicles on Friday. Now, hi Isaac. Hey, you're two Isaac. Hi Isaacs. So this is what I'm going to tell you. I've realized the trend with the guys that come to me for pre-purchase inspection. And I don't want you guys to think that I make magic happen. There are things, when I tell you that with this amount of money, this is the car you can get, please pay attention. I don't want you to come to me with a budget that buys a Corolla expecting to get a Land Cruiser. Hi Chris Da Vinci. I don't want you to come to me with a budget that buys a car that is a UAZ wanting a UBJ. I don't make ola nange mvuga UAM. Mvuga UAM nze golaba. Katate kuyambe ko kufuna UBJ mu budget ya UAM. I don't know if you get where I'm going. So I had a challenge on Friday of a customer that had a small budget, but I think he had an idea of a car that he has to buy, and it had to be extra perfect, almost close to perfect. Now, the idea of a car he wanted to get within his budget was, I'll make an assumption. You have a budget for a phone. This is a Samsung Galaxy S. This is an S9 Plus. The phone I'm using to record is an S20. Now, you have a budget of an S9, okay, S9, but you want an S20. You get, these are both Samsungs, right? But the quality that I get from my S20, okay, is not the quality this S9 Plus gives. But even the S9 Plus gives quality that no Techno will ever give. The S9 Plus gives, you see you guys are buying a Simanya A50 watt. Those phones cannot match the Galaxy S series. You get it? So you can't have a budget of an S9 Plus and you want an S20. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. But even with us, an S9 Plus, you can achieve something that can be consumed by people. Remember, you guys, I used to record my videos using an S8 Plus. I used to record using an S8 Plus and it was still okay. But I just upgraded Ningamakande to S20. And I'm thinking of bringing an S21. Netekemu sente. Burane mu UAY USZ wendi awo. Aha, ate kwe ka store together. Atenga yaka indicator mu head. Ojafuna Mark to grand. Ojafuna Mark to grand. Simanyo ba you guys get me. So I had a challenge. The first challenge was a challenge of budget. This gentleman had a very positive attitude. I'm really glad that he had a very positive attitude. He came with his brother and our budget was clear. I think our budget was 8 million. But the challenge with the budget of 8 million now is that budget of 8 million and we want a VVTi car. Now, for the guys that don't know VVTi, this is the new technology. Okay, this is not the newest, but okay, the technology that is new on Ugandan market, variable valve timing intelligence. Is the engine that is in my car, the 1NZ. For the guys that don't know the engine in my car, go ahead and watch the videos I have on this channel. There's a video where I show us repairing the old engine that was in this car. Now I have a new engine. Now, a budget of 8 million for you to get a VVTi car, it will have some shortcomings. It will not be perfect. If the engine is healthy, the body might not be. The body and the engine are okay, the interior might not be. Mr. Kafero. Oliotia baba, olabike sanyu li oli mu baba. Olabike nafe not singe sanyu. Anyway, what I'm saying is, if you want a VVTi car engine, a car with a VVTi engine, and you have less than 10 million, okay, less than 12, and you have less than 12 million, okay, you have to understand that you're not going to get perfection in all aspects. Okay, if the engine is healthy, the body might not be, and the interior. If the interior and body are perfect, the engine or gearbox might not be. So now, normally when you have a small budget and you say, Arthur, I want a car, I have this small money, and I realize it's a small budget, what is important to us. For the guys that have done inspection with me, I ask questions, but the questions I ask are meant to help me understand what your priority is. Katinze, when you talk about priority, you talk in that direction. All the options of cars that we look at are towards the direction that you're going to Good evening, Arthur. Hi Nansamba, how are you? Imi. What is today? Yeah, good evening, Arthur. Today I'm live. I always get leftovers. My question is, my car has that knocking thing when I engage the gear. It's a primo ordinary. When you engage the gear, that do. Is that what you mean? If it's a do, when you engage the gear, then check the gearbox mounting. I think the gearbox might have 2 mounts. Check both of them, or check the engine mount. Normally that's the issue. Like when you do, it means the gearbox has a lot of energy, it engages, and the mount is so it's stuck on the body. Get your mechanic to check it out. Omuntu Alteza S series anagivira kumeka gwe kati no gochomanya Alteza obane milioni zonga 13 oyinza nofuna ne mu UB series. Alteza nze nkubulira Alteza ya raisi ko kukundya ku Mark 2 grand. Oyinza toje wange nompaana ago notali kuga Arthur wangamba njafuna mu UB series nonkuba ne MP nkugambye oyinza bobane milioni zonga 10 na mmeka 13 naye nabagamba ebintu bya moroka guba mukisa. So Gonza Anthony, how are you? Tell us about the Harrier you bought. Oh, the Harrier, the Kawundo. How many Harriers have we bought? We bought the Harrier ordinary. Mogera ku Kawundo. Antikati Salmin Mark 2 grand yabasajja bakulukulumu aba normally basajja bavunanjibwa bebajivuga ate Alteza yabavubuka abavubuka banyo okugwamu. So the young people, our income normally is not that stable. Now kati when I say young people and I have these beards, it looks queer, and my beards even have gray beards. It looks even queer when I say young people. Okay, you young people. You young people. Because now yesterday my wife was touching my head and she was telling me, "Hey, honey, enviri zozo nanga zijudde mvitoka die kakada ate katishitegiza sina gamba we young people inaga you young people." Your Monday to Sunday hustle is inspiration. Amina David Jack. So Isaac, man, we ending new. So I don't know which Harrier you guys are talking about. I didn't know Harrier and Kadden charge jukira no jukira. Let me see. Twagula ko Harrier and Kadden. You guys. Emoro kanze irabira. But anyway, let me talk about the Kaundo. So this gentleman, remember there were two people, the Noah guy and the Harrier. But I talked about the Harrier. Yeah. So about the Harrier, this gentleman had his options. He had his brokers. He had already called the brokers. And normally I like to buy the car outside the bond. The cars outside the bonds are normally cheaper. But this time the person that was selling the Harrier outside the bond, I think he was selling because he needed money. And then he hit a deal. And he said, I'm no longer selling. Now I discovered this later. So we had to go and make sure that we negotiate for the cars in the bonds. And we eventually bought that one. It was okay. The AC worked perfectly. It had one tire that was wrong. It had one shock absorber that was wrong. And then these rubbers that are along the door, okay, those rubbers. Now, those rubbers, they were not, because you know the bond guys, they wash those cars, they take everything apart, but now they didn't replace them properly. So he had to work on them. But the good thing is, apart from me and my mechanic, he had his own mechanic. And I'm sure that's where he worked on the car from. So he bought that Harrier. Was it 26 million? Yes, 26 million. Yeah, we bought it from a certain bond. Because when I tell you where the bond is located, you will say I'm endorsing it. The only way I'm going to endorse a bond is if they give me a car. That's the only way I will endorse a bond. Give me a car and I endorse you. A video for cars you recommend for young people. Okay, we are going to do that in a podcast, by the way, because the podcasts are coming. On both cars, which one is better? The Grand and Alteza, which one do you drive? I think I drive the Mark II Grand. I find the Alteza to not be comfortable on the interior. Interior looks cheap. The interior of the Alteza looks cheap. The interior of the Mark II Grand looks executive. Yes, you look at the interior of the Mark II Grand, no gambo tufu in a Moroka. Alteza, I think about buying Bakwataka, Nevakasawano, Nevaka, how do we do this? Let's put a radio here. SC, how do we do the SC system? You put some buttons here. It's like the Alteza, it's like they had a limited budget. and they had a limited budget to make a car, so they made the Alteza and they said, but do you know what, let's put the other engines, the remaining engines from the Mark II. So they had made many engines, and then the demand for the Mark II Grand, maybe the CEO decided we are not making any more Mark II Grands, and they said, okay, let's put these beams engines in the Altezas. It fits. Yeah, it fits. So Alteza shares spares, by the way, the Mark II Grand. But personally, I would drive a Mark II Grand any day. It's very comfortable, you people. It's very comfortable, but it's rear wheel drive. That's the only disadvantage. But nenga moro kanunji nyo. Asa nkwepikira okuddukako naawe ku weekend. Njagala ompe program that come nze Emma jangu. jangu kilomita 10 nezo lero sidduse. Sasa zina masanyalaze nsanze gafe gafudde ate umeme ne bwo bakubira amasimu emirundi ebeka mwina sasula kamyufu alinye ku mutyaga terezi. Kyalo kyonna tekina masanyalaze. Kabetwa tutya masanyalaze, me I run with my phone. My phone gives me the distance I'm running. So if I don't have that, I can't run. The sidduka fwa. Of course I know where I'm supposed to run, but I need music in my ears if I'm going to run. So today I didn't run. Nayenze Emma nze jangu kilomita 10 nezo naye kati gwenja kusasula ojja kudduka ne 10 onozimalako Emma. Hello, Martha Director, Martha Academy. Those Altezas have become so rare on the roads, by the way. Auntie zitomera nnyo. Isaac, Altezas are driven by mostly young people. So, young people knock a lot. That's why. On a serious note, Mr. Arthur, you're on ground. Give us more information regarding the digital. The digital numbers are not happening. I told you guys. And you remember the last broadcast I had was on Friday. And I told you I predict that the digital number plates will not work. That very day, I got a news headline from someone from here. Was it Alan? Alan sent me a screenshot. The government is abandoning the digital number plates until September. You know what that means? They just don't want to admit they were wrong. You get it? They just don't want to admit they were wrong. Digital number plates can't work in Uganda. Not now, at least. Of course they will work. They can work in any country, but in Uganda we are not ready for them. We are not ready for them. Arthur, Isuzu Elf and Canter, which is better in terms of performance? I think I don't have a lot of knowledge on the Isuzu Elf and the Canter, but my cousin brother drives lorries, and I've been traveling with him multiple times. When this question comes up, na chida magamba Elf nunji if you're going to do sand, okay, sand, bricks and all, the Elf is very good. Okay, now remember, if you're going to do sand and bricks and all, you don't need a lot of speed. So the Elf is not a speed merchant, the Canter is a speed merchant. Okay, but the Canter is not a hustler. You don't put very heavy things on the Canter, yet you can put very heavy things on the Elf regardless. Now if you're doing long budget long route, I don't know what if you do very long distances, the Canter will do better for you. Okay, but if you're doing very heavy lifting, the Elf will do for you. Both are okay. Now what they say is that the Canter, the spare is readily available, very cheap. The Elf, the spare is a little expensive, but it takes some time before dying. So what about even in deep the villages there, you'll find a lot of Elves. You won't find Canters. Those are chonchimazi. Digital number plate suspended until October. Chidaba David Jack. How is the big Vits compared to the smaller one? They are the same thing. It's just that the body is bulged up. Most of the Vits are 1000 cc. Thank you, man. Wanted to buy a Spacio, but was told they are no longer being produced. Which car would you recommend that stable as a Spacio? All these cars, Raum, Spacio, Corolla, Rumion, Fielder, IST. All those cars are good, by the way. Katugobora kasemoro kebaka kagambo Corolla, buy. As long as it has the word Corolla, buy. Corollas are very reliable. Arthur, these guys who modify exhaust pipes for deep sound, does it affect car in one way or another? No, it doesn't. I wanted to do it for my car. The disadvantage is everybody knows when you're coming and when you're going. Even the guy that wants to eat your woman knows. Yes. Katugochobo manya. That exhaust makes sound. Sometimes you'll get tired of it yourself. Watch the gear. But it doesn't have, if done properly, it doesn't even affect fuel consumption. Arthur, is there a difference in price between Ractis 1.3 and Ractis 1.5? Yes, definitely 1.5. The 1.5 liter, the 1.5 liter Ractis will outlive the 1.3 liter Ractis. And definitely the 1.5 liter Ractis pays more tax than the 1.3. So the 1.5 liter Ractis pays more tax and definitely much more expensive. After I'm seeing more and more German cars on the road. What is German car equivalent of your Corolla? Nothing. Isaac, nothing. Leave the German cars alone. Let me tell you, people drive those German cars driving those German cars are corporates. And corporates make money. They have money. Emoroka bwe mufaako nga agidampinga nga agenda yewola sente ndala mu banka nga afune emoroka endala. Ontegeera kye nkugamba. So me, I don't recommend any German car, especially for people like me. Ng'okyetetenkanya bw'obanga ova mu family engagga obanga wakikubadde oli mugagga, you buy your German car. No problem. Naye bw'oba olinga Arthur okitegeera giveeko. Arthur, D4 engine versus VVTi. There are VVTi engines that are D4. I think I should have a podcast where I would dissect this. The D4 engine is just a technology that is D4 is an engine. It can be VVTi D4. It's a little more complicated than a normal VVTi engine. So avoid D4. Just avoid. Let's just make it simple. Avoid D4 engines. Avoid the D4 engines. Take it. The Belter is okay. The Belter is okay. It's just it won't have resale value, but it's very okay. The Belter is very okay. Irabo gisanga nga nungi jigule. Naye manya teze jjagula kuba teri ajagala. Gwa kawida bameka abajogira ko no jogira ko, people don't like it. Anyway, so back to our story. Mbanyumiriza if you have a small budget, my people, watch my videos on budget. 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 So that you don't come with a budget that buys a Corolla and you want a Harrier. There is a reason why Arthur is driving this old beaten up Corolla. He cannot afford the other big cars. He can't. I mean, a paddy. Arthur can't afford those expensive cars. That's why he's driving this Corolla. And the sooner you realize where your class, the better. You will settle. You will settle on was it Saturday, yesterday? I was hanging out with a guy. He recently, I think 2 months ago, yali akagula Auris ya million 25. He reached a point that the 25 million car is not good enough for him. He went to the bond and bought a car at 50. But me, I know I'm not that level. Now, I'm not going to feel bad because he has a car of 50 because I can't afford it. Me, I'm going to be happy in my Corolla because this is what I can afford. The sooner you realize that, the better. Now, when I tell you which cars you can buy at what price, don't think I don't wish you well. But you can't tell us that zigura Corolla yange. Zigura Corolla 10. Eri aso akwagala ninga ebate kyali 10. Okitegera ene yange eba 2 gumu. So anyway, budget was an issue for us. Ate ebiseera ebimu ngezaako okutegeerera omuntu ne mugamba manyi kino ekintu kirungi and then they second guess. Kati kiba kirungi nnyo ebiseera ebimu. You don't, by the way, guys, don't pay me your money if you will not trust me at all. If you're going to second guess me that much, because the reason why I ask questions, what are you going to use the car for? What distances are you going to be driving? How long do you want to drive the car for? What's your maximum budget? Sometimes people lie to me. Omunaja na kugamba, aina budget ya milioni 12 nga ina milioni 3. You be moving around, struggling to find cars of 12 million. The guy has 30 million. All of a sudden, you find a car of 40 million and he says, I'm giving you 35. I've seen that happen. Now, I think you guys naturally just want to challenge me. So you come with your lot of money and then you're challenging me to get you a car that is, you know the worth of the car that you want. Okay, then I'm going for a Paso Sete. Paso Sete is okay. Honey, for your budget is 60 for Wish. 16 million, you'll get a Wish. It will not be so sweet, but it will be okay. Jakfuna. Nagari Frank, how are you? Arthur can afford, but is in love with his Corolla. I can't afford Isaac. I can't. I can't. Is the Toyota Blade a performance car? Yes. Toyota Blade is 2.4 liters. It's a performance car. Imotoka byabavuka bagagga. Kati Arthur ngavuga imotoka etuza abantu abatano nga ya 2.4. Sisobola na kusobola kuba kwemamaza. Anyway, the reason why I talked about Uber was, guys, when I tell you avoid Uber, don't even think about Uber. Nkugambe ekintu, I'm a realistic person. Sigamba nti sikwagaliza obambunze ndi musiru nnyo. When I was doing Uber, a lot of my friends were doing Uber because Uber was a very good supplementary income in Kampala here. Nze omanyi, me I do math. I have applications on my phone to do math. I have Excel sheets on my computer. Banange imbala, nange nature. So I did the math and I realized Uber wasn't making any more money for me and I quit. Then I told my guys, Uber is not making money. And I said, okay. And some of them told me, business. We had to business. So I quit. One by one, they left Uber. Some of them are in Dubai now. So I'm asking myself, if Uber was making money, why did you go to Dubai? But to make more money. But the honest ones actually came and told me, man, chagana. So one of my clients is wants to do Uber. If you want me to do pre-purchase inspection for you, the first thing I ask is the money. So he sat there in that corner. There. The other person was sitting here. So what I did when he sat in my car, he wanted to buy a car on credit, the Wish, and the only two options we had of Wishes on credit because he didn't have his own option. One was giving us a Wish at 23 million, UBJ, you would pay 10 million. The other was giving us a UAY Wish at 19 million, we pay 9. So I looked at him like this and I asked him, what are you going to use the car for? And he said, Uber. So you know what? First give me my car for 100K, then I do math for you. Because me, I knew what I was going to tell him. So he counted my car money. He hesitated definitely. Because before I even asked him for the money, I told him it's not wise to borrow to get a car on credit when you're going to do Uber. Then I told him Uber might not make you money. You say, and then when I asked for my car money, he hesitated. I told him, and eventually he gave me the car money. And don't ask me to give you some car money. I shared with the mechanic. We put fuel in the car. Zagwawo. Twazidi za lwakutano. Kati leo ziyinza okubanga kati ku economy ye Uganda wano waba wadde n'ekikumi. Omuntu alina abaana n'omukyala ku weekend. Anyway, so after he gave me the money, I told him, I want us to go look at these cars, but I also want you to think about, hi Stephen Tatawe, I want you to think about a possibility. I want you to think about if Uber doesn't work out and you have borrowed this car. Okay, you have a car on credit which you have paid 10 million and this guy is demanding 13 million and they have given you 6 months. Now, if you have a credit of 13, you have a debt of 13 million. 13 million. And you're supposed to pay that money in 6 months. Can't call it math one. You're supposed to pay that money. You're supposed to pay that money in 6 months. Otherwise, 13 divided by 6. You need to pay 2,166,666 shillings every month. Every month. Uber can never make you 2 million. Atoba nebovuga special tosola kola million bilio kujja kongo jiko emoroko jikozesa kubba ngamusanga abali bone mabobo tayima ne mbajja ko center za okujanga kyokozese emoroko ekyo. There is no way you're going to make 2,166,000 shillings, 666 shillings. The figure is there. There is no way. Sente nazilya franka twazilya abana bange bagala amata bali bamanja kudwalira bannange. Sente kagwa. Anyway, checho. So I told him I was honest, but I told him either way, let's go look at the cars. So the first wish je bali batuwole yali ku UAY 19 engine yali mbi. And there are things where I don't really need my mechanic to check. Kati nchikubulira nti nyine ebintu ebimunga ntuka ku moroka nenjira bone ngambe yoteyita. Era bisere ebimuntu genda ne mechanic tugenda no muntu agenda ogule moroka nentunulire moroka ne sigenda nayo ne kama mechanic na ya confirming. They go in there and they come out thinking the same thing. So we looked at the first wish, it wasn't good. I think yari yaraisi bagitola 19. I told him, you know what? Now I'm about the other customer of mine. I'm gamba, you know what? You should not borrow. It's a new business. You're fresh. Why are you borrowing? Why are you getting a car on credit, a very big credit? Then I asked this guy. I was curious. I asked him, do you know me from YouTube? And he said yes. I asked him, have you seen me discourage people from buying cars for Uber? And he said yes. When he said yes, he knew. What was I to say? Omuntu kasita kugamba nakula badango gamba Uber temuli said. Atenza jala kujewolira mmodoka. Kati ate omuddamu ki? Okitegeera. So I told him, you know what? Ekisoka. Now, cut for the guys that don't know how Uber works. This is how it works. Uber has classes. The most common class of Uber is Uber X. Yenonga Corolla yange twala abantu abatano. Moroka entono VTs paso bichi. Then bayina je bayita Uber something eddako eya van. People never order for Uber eya van. Now if you buy a wish oba ogenda genda mu category ya Uber eya van oba ovuge Uber X, of which wovuga Uber X mu wish ya sisi 18 oba 12 oba okola loss because you're driving at the same rate as the guys that drive a 1000cc Passos. Not good for you. Now for the guys that are watching, don't get scared. I don't share these stories to spite my customers. I share these stories so that you guys learn from them. The good thing is temwemanyi. But you guys, I'm sure you learn from these things. So, how many times for you guys that have used Uber, how many times have you ordered for a car other than Uber X? So I told him, you don't really need to buy a wish. You can buy a smaller car. But even the smaller cars were expensive. Ngenda we baba tuwole moroka. Kati waliwo yali ayagala tutola ka VTs. Nga mu cash wabaka tuguza cash akatuguza 13, of which I'm sure would bargain. Nenga waba atuwola million 16. Very unfair. Okitegera. Now, ebiseera mumba njagala ngamba omuntu nedda byemoroka biveeko naye nga ate bw'aveewa nga agenda bamubbe. Otegeera kye nkugamba. So we looked around. Eventually, we settled on getting 2 options. Option 1 was to look for a VITS. Because we could look for a VITS at around 10 million or 9 million. It would have work to do, but at least tosigaza banja million 10 na mmeka. Atera VITS, good consumption. You go to Uber, make your money, recoup your money, and if it fails, you let it go. Continue driving your VITS. Tell agenda Jessica. Option 2 is there is a visitor that we know of, a doctor. Manye no doctor naye atunda tatunda. Obwavu ebumuluma nga agamba antunda. Kati olunaku lwenyini lwemba mugenda okutunda emmotoka nga yeekuba nga olwafunye million 3 nga si kyatunda. But his car is very nice for a person that's going to do Uber. Now, for the guys that don't know the Vista shares the engine with the Premium model. And this car is nice, the new tires, AC works, everything is okay. So we called this guy up. Previously yali atuna million 10 binika tobavu muluma tinga tukwe million 10 twasoka mga munana kitundu nagamba munjagala million 10. Of course it has police receipts that the person has to pay. They say together kwa million 10. But then my people hadn't yet decided. But for 10 million, for a person that has 10 million, that's the best car for them to buy. That's the best car for them to buy. And I told my person, kusende zoina nicho yagala okozesa emmotoka. This is the car you should buy. This is the car you should buy. Because togenda kanika togenda kola ki nangamba ate resale giveeko emmotoka ogula yakutunda ogula yakuvuga kola bibyo. Yes, Uber XL Isaac, thank you. Bwoba vuga yakola sente gigule kola sente zo kirungi kimmotoka oba ogimazeeyo tetoyina bbanja ojeyo sente zo era bw'ojjayo sente zo kati ate emmotoka oba ogibanja ki. Arthur, these guys who are over TikTok saying that they give cars on loans with a deposit as low as 3 million, do you think these are genuine? They are genuine, by the way, Magezi. Those guys are genuine. But you know what happens? You'll buy a car of 20 million at 60. Because they're going to tell you, you give us your 3 million. You can even get someone that takes 700,000, by the way. No more came to on some Nova on UBN. But you know what happens is these guys, they'll tell you give us the deposit, initial deposit, and then pay 400,000 every week for 4 years or 3 years. Let me do the math. If someone gives you a car on credit, okay, and they tell you, pay me 400,000, katugambe 350. 350 is normal. 350,000 times 4, that's 1 month. That's 1,400,000 every month. Times 12, you're paying 16 million a year, okay? Then times 3, you have paid 50 million plus the 3 million that you gave them. If they are giving you a home new model, you have bought it at 53 million. So those are the guys. Let me see. There is a company that is a little fair. Bagamba 2 million bidi every week. 2 million bidi. 2 million bidi every month. Okay, for 3 years. So 2 million times 12, that's 24 million. Times 3 years, 72 million. And they give you a wish. You give them 1.5 million. Now let's add the 1.5 million you give them. You give them 1.5 million, and then you give them 2 million for 48. Is it 48? 24? 36 months, eh? You have paid 73,500,000 for a wish that you can buy at, let's say, 30 million. But all for what? To drive a new car. To drive a new car, sorry. To drive a new car. Kamvugenda mukadde Corolla. Ndoza math mumulabye. Ebiseera ebimu math y'abantu tawanya. Nze ne bwe nvuga namukadde ono nanfako ne mukyusa yingini 3 siyinza tuuka ssente zo. Ate oba namukadde ono ne bwe mufuuwa n'enziramu ne mufuuwa kale emirundi siyinza tuuka ssente zo. Ezo ssente zo ze weewolamu emmotoka nsobola ozigulamu emmotoka nnya ne nziwa abaana ba special. Nnya zokka. Nzo ogula emmotoka nga 7. After they make you pay 43,000 per day. Ate kati oyo math oba yo muno wange 43,000 per day times 6 days, right? Kuboro musamu njimanyi bakuleka. That's 258,000. Then times 4 a million then times 12, that's 12 million, then times 3, 37 million. By the way, as a Moroccan, zinema abantu banji, nyina abantu banji waloga yali avuga boda oyo mwerako nyukuba yemmumanyi yaja nanebuza ko ngatana chikwana ngane asa mpulira nkoye boda empewe no manyi. When someone really wants something they find ways of justifying it. Man, mpulira empewe ya boda ni ntamye nkoye mpulira ne mawugwe. And I told him orunga natira okuva mu Uber, you natira okuva mu Uber. And he said, man, njagala ku motoka. Motoka eno gibagina jimpe eno. Ulabo tene mugane wali sikade mu boda omanyize ni realisticness ekwekerera abantu bavate banjagala. Nangamba no. Kanjivuge. Najivuge yo negana. Nagenda mwabo bemugambye abo abasaba emitwalo 35 buli wiki. Gayi nga asula mu motoka. Gayi nga takyasenya. Gayi nga wera awunya. Naye nga ali mu moroka mpya nga alwana kusasula yagana kati adda ku boda ye. Avuga boda ye. Gadget wanaba akyatunda. I support you, Arthur. Already bought it. IST at 50 million plus on credit from certain carbon. And that's the bond wanted to take you imagine buying the IST at 50 million. And then they even want to take the car. Nasia. Mavoga jet we never seriously taking a car on loan, paying every month. Where can you raise 2 million? Which business? Exactly. Okuja ko ngo babu bingo genda kuba nga bantu butayimbwa otwali kyali nofu ne bwokijja mu sente osasula. Isaac, people take those things. So those are the cars I inspected the past few days that I wasn't updating you on them. And it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve. Every day that you wake up, make sure you learn something. I learn something new every day. Actually, Wednesday on live broadcast, I learned. By the way, tomorrow we are live at 7:15 a.m. for those guys that can make it. We are live. We are not going to. We have been live since 2022. We are live every morning, Monday to Friday, 7:15 a.m. Yesterday I got busy and forgot to do the evening live broadcast. At 6 p.m. I saw a message from one of you here. It's broadcast time and I had forgotten. Bana gorumu binkwata na ye njagala nnyo okubeera wano. It's also temula bantu namwe abayamba kukuta stress. Nange wata stress yanka kati mbadde nno ntaddeko music for some time. Mbanyi nokuba muka serefu ndabe nti battery ekyaliko manyi oyinza okubeera wano oli mu kuba music battery negwako omuliro olina kuyita ba neighbor ate bakusindikeko okitegeera naye kati battery yange egirabye ekyali mpya. Hi Adam, how are you? So that's the story. But all in all, you guys, when I talk about prices of cars here, I'm informed. I do research. But broka bonna be mukubira nze bwemba kubira ate bangamba bituufu ne beije bangambe bayabusuubuza ebiseera ebisinga. Mukusuubulane moroka eyo jagifuna naye kati gobo jano sentezo baja nabaguze moroka enzibe. Baja baguza ne moroka enzibe. Anti nga gwe weefuula omugezi. Nte Arthur yagambye milioni vitize nungi ya milioni 10 enjala jigula mukaga kitundu. Nyina ne sente zengo walo wano gayi wa mu wano yalenga nkankuweleza anago simanyo nonyeze space yo new model milioni 10. Mwagala kunchawa. Space yo empya walo ne yadangamba can I get a wish at 10 million. Ene bantu mmwe mulowooza someone can go and buy their wish from the bond at 28 million. Okitegeera at 28 million. 43 7 days equals 300,000. 4 weeks times 36, 43 plus that's 50 million. For which car Emma though? For which and ebo bojifinya kubanja nga gwe wamwe era mwali badite mulivuga ku moroka ojigira. I think a person who buys a Primo Super second hand at 15 million and upgrade it is better than buying a wish loan of 2 Definitely. And at 15 million, Mr. Lucius, you can get a good car. 15 million is good budget. 15 million ojaji funa ngataina mipira ngo rumu njabi wamali mu lwatika rumu yetaga okufuwa muko naye nga ebyo bikola ovuga. One thing I've realized about, I'm fine Kishfero, how are you? One thing I've realized about you guys from this platform, mwagala ebipya ku budget yetali ya bipya. Omuntu ajja ngoba yakubye deal ya million 2 najjanga ye muri awulira ayagala kivane gadi ekyo nga kiri ku UBK gaina millions ameka gaina millions 2 naye nga muri awulira millions 2 zali mufunide kivane gadi ku UBK nagenda ajoga kwekanga ye moroka jibajja mu boni ku mine bajije ku million 6 ayagala agisange ngo omuntu agivuzemu emyaka 2 agimwe ku million 2 kati abambagala kubba na bubbi omanyi waliwo ekintu ng'okiguze naye ng'okiguze mu bubbi. Recently when I wanted to buy a Nua and I may buy it naye njagala gigula mu ngeri ya abasuubuzi. So recently I wanted to buy a Nua and a broker called me and he told me gwe boss gwe abadde oyagala Nua ne mugamba yenze waliwo wano Nua bagirese wano ya million 11 ne mwaka 11 mpozi nga UBJ na sekai loved and he said go boy atakati oyagala kubba bubbi nimukatera okusubula bwe kuba abasuubuzi nabo ne bafunako yebalira okitegeera ata clear the air. Primo Super and Ordinary zaawukana zitya anti kati Primo Super erimu amajolobero, the bumpers are better, the lights are better. Yaka wano mu kisaawa ina famaika Ordinary ina famaika. The interior is classy. Interior ya Primo Super nungi okusinga ya Primo Ordinary. Ne bumper yema begeriko obutaala bwana. Na ezo bumper bazikyusa n'amataala. Kibatatera kusobola kukyusa ye interior. Muyinza okulabira Primo Super bana ekisaawa nga kyaka ng'ekya Corolla yange. Nini ekya Corolla yange nno tekyaka. Necha Corolla yange ne yange Corolla si super kati munenga Primo Super bweto bweri naye amazima nze si asobola kwewola mmotoka akati ekibalo kyo kikikate ekibalo kyo kyayita ku kibalo ekiri nnomo naye waliwo abawole emmotoka nga takwongedde emunnyo n'akuwola emmotoka n'akwongeramu akakadde wabaji kuwoza naye ate era omuntu akuwola emmotoka nga they are giving you only 3 months to pay. Why don't you wait for the 3 months and make the total money and pay? Okitegeera I in a way if the guy is giving you a car on loan and telling you to pay in 6 months, why don't you keep your money for 6 months? Isaac, V-Power is overrated. V-Power is overrated. I put it in my car full tank. V-Power is overrated. Very overrated. Let the people that think V-Power is okay use V-Power. Me, I'm not using V-Power. The way you're using your Corolla as case study in your Hanifa. Corolla jireke baba. Na eno Corolla mujiraba. Eno Corolla ine bizibu byayo. Na Corolla tufira kukubo. Corolla wojigama ntugende Masaka. Dar es Salaam. Gwejiwe mafuta. Irumba. This Corolla is very, very, very amazing. This Corolla might have a sickness. It continues moving. It continues with its sickness until you figure out what disease is disturbing it. That's one reason why I like the Corolla. This Corolla moves 80 kilometers a day. Monday to Friday, 80 kilometers a day. Ino Corolla sagara jogira nako. Era nabagamba ne wobo ina sente zongo ina mwabaina milioni 12 nga wepaka ku Corolla yange we itachi. 12 oyagala gula Corolla yange. Ate ne bobo ina milioni 15 ina kwogera nange bulungi mukama noziretanga ziri mu cash. Untraceable. Noziteka no moto gwa noga mukama wange mpa Corolla nginde. Gendo gule ekimotoka ekikadde mpako. V-Power ali overrated. Isaac nze namukoza asikyayagala nkozesa fuel save wane nywa amafuta ga toto. Ekyoka V-Power bamungera munusu 2 biramba. Kani webuuza ebibiri byaki mboro kuba kale ekyukamu anti kyebakola V-Power wa red negano nago gwa red but V-Power is more red. Buy RAV for Raymond, leave the Subaru is much more okay. Subaru is nice but RAV4 is better. I brother, can I get a Toyota Wish at 18 million with good engine? Yes, you can, Cosmos. You can get, but give me pre-purchase inspection money. You hear my kids in the background praying. They need milk. And I'm not expensive. You guys, thank you for being on the broadcast. I do pre-purchase inspection. If you're going to buy a car, I make sure you're not cheated. I make sure you get a good car. I make sure we bargain it properly. My goal always, if your budget is 20 million, my goal is to make sure you get a car at 18. That's always my goal. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but that's my goal. And when it doesn't work out, I make sure you get the best offer in the market. Yes. So I do pre-purchase inspection. If you're going to buy a car, I come with a mechanic, and we make sure that you get a kind of mint condition. But you guys give me business so that I also buy a new car. Yeah, I'm not going to go. For me to endorse a bond, if you see me talking about a bond here and these are the best guys, go buy cars, just know they have given me a car. If you ever see me saying this is the bond where you should buy a car, just know they have given me a car. I'm not going to endorse a bond if they don't give me a car. And it has to be newer than my Corolla. I'm not going to give them conditions, but I tell you, give me you big just don't give me a Nissan, don't give me a Mitsubishi. Okay, Subaru I can endure. But don't give me a Ford, don't Benz I can drive. And now that's where I'm picking. Don't give me a Golf. Don't give me a Mazda. Don't give me a Mazda. Just the moment me, I don't want money. I can make my money. I want a car newer than mine. Don't want for the guys that have no people in bonds, go tell them for Arthur to endorse you, he wants a car newer than his. Man, my Corolla is new, by the way. It's old, but it's new. No Ford, no Golf, no Mitsubishi, no Nissan, no Mazda, no Opel, all those funny brands. I want Toyota. Arthur, what's your gas per kilometer ratio daily? Mane Corolla mujireke. Corolla yange ekyalindwa de naye tambula kilometer 14 ku 15. Ate kanziza ikaze yongedeza yakaziri 16. Zakaziri 16. But the normal one that I normally get with my old engine, I used to get 13 to 15. Now I get the minimum I get is 14. Naye one day nja kukubako chikorona chiyenje. Gwe nyina muto wange yagambye agenda kugula chiyenje ye yagali tajja kufanga tavu. By the way, you guys, make sure you don't die without driving a car. In heaven there are no cars. There are no cars in heaven, you people. Don't die without driving a car. I'm telling you, you be joking, thinking, but Arthur is spending money buying cars. Now I'm here even making demands. You want me to Pajero Bitama? My boss bought it around 45 million. He sold it a year later over 50. You see Pajero Bitama sagara umuntu ajja ku variance be Pajero Bitama nga kiri ku UBJ kintameno. You can give me a Land Cruiser. And that's a luxury. I think you can't be having a bond that sells luxury cars and you give me a Corolla. If you sell Land Cruisers, you want Arthur to give me a Land Cruiser so that he advertises Land Cruisers when he knows how Land Cruisers feel. Someone also told me, Isaac, guy bought Mercedes Benz, the AML for Matix, and he sold it 7. Not 7, it was 9. 9. Ngemutamye. Nenga chiyenje nunji Antonio, by the way, chiyenje era ne chiyenje nenjigwa kunga ya milioni ng'emunji gulange etambula zomanyi kati neronda nyine mo kazengula nga wonna weri wenjigwira kaseba nge etambula njibalabalamu awo nenjibalabalamu njigule njitonere muto wange gera wevuge nyumpa milioni emuchi anti sitona bya bwerere kuba nange ebyange nkoledde bikolere. I know one selling a Pajero Bitama 6 million USD. Ndoze kirabi Isaac eze moroka bisirani kyo asagana nazogerako yinzo zogerako nobangazi we endorsement olaba mpana buwanyi Toyota zafa bande baroza nje endorsinga. The Toyota guys have not given me money. By the way, if there is a representative from Toyota Uganda here, may I want that new starlet. For you guys from Toyota Uganda, sisija bizanyira munjagala mpya kavera. I want to even unbox it. There will be an unboxing ceremony. Abantu banga for the love of kazi tubayite tubatukoleyo ka cocktail bandabe ngemoroka njijjako obuveera chwa chwa chwa. Arthur, I'll also come with my 5 million nange mvuge banange naye tojjane million 5 ngoyagala moroka ya 10 nkirabye kitera okubaawo munajjane million 5 naye nga sebo yeeronda ajjane million 5 atinakola sivuga simanya ki sivuga ki kali million 5 wero olabanze nange bwe ndibanganyina million 5 ze nabagamba sidda kubigere ne bwe ndiyavuwana ne manganyina million 3 ate awe ndiba ne million 3 ate awo sigulayo kibenzi kubakaleze moroka ezibe ezalaisa awo ugulayo kibenzi oba Nissan March at least nvugenge efana yenga mvuga motoka sidda kubigereze sidda kubigere. Ne other 1 million. Frank, you're joking. Is nali nguzeke moroke million ebili. Atenge etambula buli naku nga njije kasakati nengenda mu kibuga nenzire kasakati ngate food. Ezo. Million meka. You people are joking. Kati hata nyino musajja yangulako ka golf kangana kali kantawanya nange nimbako gwenkawa. Kakati bwenkamuwa bana nza togula golf. Banange golf bojira badduka ne bwe bayaraisi yajingulako najimuguzo ba million nya kitundu mama ye gitundu ejo era yajanga nali mu banja yakasendi yampako basatu kitundu. So he came back to me and said, Arthur, emoroka eganye mbadde nsaba ku mitwala agataano nkuweka 2 ompe kadi naye mula musajja mbotofu and I gave him the card, the logbook. Give me my money. He said, nayo manyi Arthur, bwe kibanga kikuwa obuzibu gwe mpaka kadde nkuddize emmotoka. Guy wanted to give me back my car and I give him 1 million. Even me, at 1 million, I didn't want the car. I told him, you give me the 200,000 and take that car to someone else. And I go, jirabe duka. Don't buy golfs. Yeah. Eri moroka kisirani nayo. Nekarege komukawulira. Karege mukawulira njagala no basibula. My wish gives me 7.4 to 9.5 mileage even after changing spark plugs. What could be the problem? Kakati, feel good music. Normally, I'll be honest. You wish your era can MP jajira ko sijajiriko. Me, I'm going to put more tires on my Corolla. Why? I want better mileage. Second, if the tires are away, air cleaner should be changed every time you service your car. Okay? Then how do you drive? I told you guys, drive below 2,000 revolutions per minute. You'll see the difference. My mechanic yadi achiwakanya. Niye yangambi achirabe moroka ye bwavuga less than 2,000 revs. Moroka munya bulungi. Hello Arthur, a friend has 12 million. Can they get Primo X new model? Nedda sebo. Of course they can, but it will be a problem. A sort of a Primo X, he can get a Primo X if it has an accident, a very bad accident history. Or if your friend is not particular about number plates, and even if they brought a Primo X UAM, he drives it, he can get. But one thing I've seen with people that want to buy new model cars, they also want to buy new number plates. But your friend can get a Primo X if he is not particular about number plates. You can UAM, UAR, UAT, UAN, he can definitely get. But if he wants to use these things of UAZ, UBB, he can't. Cut 5 million gets you which car? Chibina maybe. Hey, 5 million there Chibina, Kosa, Chienje. You can't even if some good condition you didn't get at 5 million. Yeah, Chibina, Kosa, Chibina, Kosa. But you guys, there's a time when having 5 million for a car you would be rich. But they can tell you now, I have 5 million, find a Chibina and you struggle. Yeah, 5 million. It looks like it's a lot of money when you're holding it like this. It's little money for a car. But Chibina you can get, Kosa you can get, Chienje, Corona 170, Jitwaring, Karibu. But even Karibu in good condition. You see, even Gaia you cannot get at 5 million. You people, something has happened to cars. The when come and my Corona come with 15 million and talk to me nicely. Talk nicely. Chibina. Chikumi. The first Chikumi. Even Chikumi Kumi you can't get. Which other one? You can even get a Benz C200 zezawange zala isi na imama kati nazo ziri mbirego. What would you recommend between a Forester X2 model and Vanguard? Go for Vanguard. Go for wherever there is another brand in Toyota. My brother, go Toyota. Maintenance for XT will be way higher than the Vanguard. And XT will break down before the Vanguard. That's your deal. Chienje is the car between the Chibina. No. It's a car between the Chibina and the Corona 170. It sort of looks like a cockroach, that car. Don't buy Progress. Those Progresses have cars. Alan now, Alan, you know these things. That Progress now is problematic. I think I saw it on Facebook. It's also that one is problematic. Why Mark X so cheap? They are not cheap. They are not. If you find a cheap Mark X, pay me for pre-purchase inspection. And there's cheapness that is from perception. Mark X cheap, but it's not cheap. It's not. 15 million is okay resale value for that Mark X. Because you're going to have things to repair, especially once say suspension. Be in zokuli million ebiri. Kati abaje guziza 17 si 15. Okitegera. Then also ne engine zenyine zimanyi okufa. Wadde bagamba nti ezo engine nene zitera. Neza Mark X zifa because they push them. Not Avensis. The Chienje sort of looks like the Corona 190, sort of looks like the Corona. I think it's Corona 180 if 180 exists. Chiriao Chienje. But it's a comfortable car, by the way. Chienje is good. I saw a Mark X UX 6.8. Kate ye nebyo kola. Eyo Mark X edi nebyo kola biyitirivu yinzo erimu n'ekigo. Banange bagayi muzikize mbasibulo budde buzibye sinakwata mu mbuuma bwange. Ate nyino genda jena tute laptop yango gicharging angije na yanange ebintu bya Uganda. Azaze gagenze from yesterday night. Tegaliko. Umeme njikubidde emirundi ngeme komanyi ngafera abantu abasoma kaba ino lugezigezi okubira ku umeme customer care yaabwe no yabaye sayanze gagenze mtuweliza abantu we are coming bwe bagamba tebajja. And guys, don't forget I do pre-purchase inspection. This week I don't have a lot of business. You bring business. Come we go buy cars. You can, but the best thing for you to do is call brokers, have cars online up for to get to Kebere. Echechi singa tetera kwagala kunonyeza moroka kiba kirungi ne wenonyeza fete tujja tukeberane. Wenonyeza fete tujja tukeberane. Wenonyeza fete tujja. Starting next year, by the way, pre-purchase inspection is going to cost you 600,000 between January and June. Between June and December, that will be a different story. We are in July. You have 6 months to do pre-purchase inspection at only 400,000. Yes, Charles, Tofalumu, another Charles, Stewart, Mavo Gadget Center, Uncle Salmina, Bika Gaetano, Simple Harrison, Chimuri Rahim, Jerome, Kasawa Joffrey, Alec Isaac Wandera, Mansur Hanifa, Ayman Ali, Mr. Lucius, Samuel Glovinko, Joseph Barikudembe, Anselm Isaac, Mwesigwa Isaac, Chris Da Vinci, Bam Kakea, Mwesigwa Isaac, Emma Kafero, Bawa Matha, Nansamba Imi, Salmina Shagaf Chitegezaji. Na focusing nyo kulinyala Salmini Shagaf ne. Shagaf Chitegezaji. Goza Anthony, Enan Stewart, David Jack Tumusime, Mwesigwa Isaac, Muwanguzi Andrew Erisa, Martha, Director Martha Academy Mukono, William Magezi, Sechitoreko Norman, Paul Kwikiriza, Andrew Nsubuga, Mansur Hanifa, Sakogedeko, Mutumba Pade, Nagali Frank, Stephen Tatawe. But guys, Namwabari Mukamori, I don't take it for granted. Even you, if you're watching this broadcast tomorrow or the day after that, this broadcast has been done on Sunday. What's the date? Sunday the 2nd of July. Yes, but if you're watching it after, no problem. Basamura Ankera. Yes. Feel good music, UG. Yeah, I take comments and Zibadeji. Sunday Bright, Kish Fero, Adam Mugisha. Of course, Mavo Gadget. Abaguma Antonio, Cosmas Ochan. No, yes. Isaac Maseruka, Alan Komna, Banange mweba denyo kubera ku live broadcast yenu. Timwira ya tomorrow morning we are live at 7:15. Brian Wanyama, Council Patrick Asiku, good evening. What if we pay pre-purchase this year, but we want to buy temumpa sente ntukoma ako gujango bwafu bunuma nzijo kula mure moro kange mimwajika zinga sente naziyada. Martha, get an Ipsum instead of Gaia. Yeah, Martha wants to buy a Gaia GDK. Gaia is ugly. It's like those guys were on target and then the boss said one morning I'm coming when he was supposed to come next, and then they did something for him and he liked it. Karege mkaulide kankaba wenga wemba sibula. Definitely Ipsum is better, even resale value. It will retain your money. Yeah, so you guys, thank you very much for being part of this broadcast. I'll see you tomorrow morning 7:15. Yeah, karege mkaulida. Nange simanje nakaja na yenkaraba ku flash yange nanka kubao kawo mesa live broadcast. Don't pay in advance, you guys. Abatagula moroka mwaka guno omwaka guja mtu we mitwaro nkaga nenkono meyo ngero kuonekana. Guys, have a very good evening. I'll see you tomorrow morning. May God bless you. Ciao.